Boys, it took me nearly a decade to take my shoulders from the weakest point genetically on my body to possibly the strongest. And if you have big shoulders that are prominent, that are cut, everybody's gonna call you Jack. So without further ado, let's get in today's video. All right, and it is game time, daytime at the Crusadium. But listen, we're here to get you those superhero type of physique that you're looking for that's in the shoulders. But it's gonna come down to focusing on one thing, and it's the rear delts, because here on this page, we are rear delt supremacists. The OGs know about this. However, the way we're gonna size this up is gonna be a superset that's not gonna really take you very long, because for me, I do want, non-natural allegations as a natural. However, I also don't want to make the gym my entire personality. And this is a framework that I kind of developed on my own accord because I never had a ton of equipment. That way we can get you exactly where you want to go. Because for me, like I said, never had that much equipment, but that wasn't enough an excuse for me to give up on that. Right? Because I was just a young man with a dream. Let's be real, it's the coolest thing ever, especially because that superhero physique is just, it's sick. And it really does come down to us focusing on the rear delt. So let's get to the first exercise. And if you're a real man, I gotta set this up, but you always grab 2 plates at once. It just feels more manly, you know what I'm saying? Take your big hands, work on your grip strength, grab them both at once. Honestly, it's one thing before we get into this video, that is something we need to start normalizing. But the first thing we're gonna do is you wanna pick an exercise that you can progress in. That is the most important part about this. It can be anything like a compound lift typically, it's not always the case. However, you wanna pick something that's very easy to progress in. And that's why I'm gonna show you the high elbow cable row. And the reason why I like it, especially because with this grip, the way the grip comes out, even if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world, but every gym should have this. The way we wanna set this up is a little bit different because we're focusing on the rear delt. So instead of me coming back and rowing, you wanna almost come out like this, lean forward, and you should feel a stretch along your rear delts. And that's why you wanna keep your elbows a bit higher. But right from here, come up high, and then I row from that position, because if I come back on them, I'm using too much back. I want to further put emphasis on the rear delts. Just like that. Deeper the stretch, stronger the contraction. And that's how I gauge. I want to feel stretch on the negative, which is the eccentric, and then on this concentric, it takes care of itself. Fun little hack for you guys. And you take your sets to complete failure. Now comes the superset. Game time. All right, and now what we like to pick is something that, what I like to say is an isolation exercise to take this muscle to complete failure, right? And that way you can only have to do 2 sets max and you're good to go. That's what I love about this framework. But on the front end, like I said, I picked something like a row. And on this one, I kind of want to pick a fly-esque exercise. You don't always have to do it this way, but that's how I want you to think of it. Compound isolation, right? Something to progress on the front end, and then this is just to take the muscle to complete failure. Easier for you to kind of lock in. But all you're doing is rear delt flies. That's it. And the way I like to do them is just like lateral raises, except for the rear delt. So what I like to do is kind of come up like this. A lot of people kind of come back and they try to arch their back. No. You want to lock into the muscle. Most of the tension that you're doing in terms of your grip should be between your index finger and your thumb. That's how you should be moving the weight, because it forces you to come out proper, which is just going to put a lot more mechanical tension onto the rear delts as targeted. We're snipers on this page. Dead between the eyes, we nail down our target. Little room for inaccuracy and precision. Let's wrap this up. I like the wood board background to finish this off, but nonetheless, understand something. This page is about 3 things: strength, resilience, and character. It's not just a fitness page, even though I think, in my opinion, the reason why I'm starting off with fitness is for one reason. It's because how I got started in terms of figuring out what to do with my life kind of thing. And for me, the gym been basically the crux of everything that I've done. It's just by training. Training, you know, some people say training saved their lives, but the point is it's gotten me through a lot of rough times when I didn't really know what to do with myself. I was a bit confused. That's rude. That's rude. I was in the middle of a heartfelt speech, for God's sakes. But nonetheless, point is it's helped me a lot in my life when I didn't really know what to do, right? And so the only thing I thought was like, well, I'll train. You know, I'll make my body physically strong. But I ignored the mental aspect of it. I ignored my real life, and it eventually became an escape. And that's the thing. Sometimes we can masquerade it in, well, you know, I'm bettering myself in the gym. That's step one, and that's why I do this on this page. But there is step two, step three, because the point of this is we want to take all this health that we've built up to be in a type of shape that people are like, there's no way that's possible naturally. That means to become undeniable. You do that, and we want to take that and we want to move it over into our real life to make our real life undeniable. Who we are as people, undeniable. At the end of the day, we got one life. We got one life. Why not do everything you possibly can? Because it's a short one. And I'm still in my 20s, right? But one thing you begin to realize is time moves by really fast, because I can look back, you know, on my whole life and I think it happened in a snap of a finger. I can't imagine it's going to change too much when I'm 50. So that's my point. Why wouldn't we do this? And that's kind of what I plan to do in this space. Step one is fitness, because let's get it right. Everyone needs to be a walking unit. It's way more fun to live life this way. Things become a lot easier. Things just come downhill. Opportunities do just present themselves to you. It's the truth. However, it's an amplifier. So if I know how to speak really well and I know how to articulate myself properly, or I'm charismatic or funny or whatever, you can take any trait that you want to have, it's going to amplify it. It doesn't create, but it amplifies. And that's exactly what we aim to do. But regardless, I do hope this is well worth your time. And I appreciate you if you watched this till the end. You know, in terms of the things I talked about, you know, sharing a little personal stuff about myself. However, not something I'm used to doing really, but something I need to get more comfortable with, and this is kind of a big part of it, right? Be able to share stories and help people out. But anyways, if there's anything you guys want specifically, for real, man, drop it down in the comments, and if I see it gets enough thumbs up, I will make a video on it, but you got to earn it. That's how it works here. But anyways, I love you guys. From Uncle Rami to the Natural Crusaders, I love you guys very much. Uncle Rami out. Peace.